Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss disable customer asset validation and suggest account reparenting in Microsoft Dynamics 365 field service. Like I have an asset that and I am the service provider. Like my company is shifting to the servitization model and which means I am offering the product as a service. So I made the asset as internally. So I am go ahead and I am gonna as part of a contract and give this another company to use. And I am gonna charge them in some kind of monthly or annual and based on the uses key. And point is that asset is being a Qantas of coffee. Now currently I am going to get work order as created for the customer and who is currently in possession of this asset. Now I would go to the create a work order. So on the left hand side, scroll up and then click on work order from here. So click on new button from here. So put the asset in first. Now I can choose my asset. So this is my asset. So click on that and then go to the service account. Like if I am selecting bean to cup machines and work order type is this. Now I am selecting incident type. So click on that and then click on save button. Now you will see here. So I am going to get an error which is by design until now. So which basically says the customer asset has to be related to the service account of the current work order. And it means is like if their account on the asset is not the same exact account as on the work order. So I cannot proceed with creating a work order. And why it is important to have the flexibility in this area. If I own the asset, so own the account and own the asset as a service provider. So but then the company that is using it so is calling it for the work orders. And other scenario is like when it come to the manufacturer scenario, so which often has to do with the warranties but does not need to be. Like we actually have a customer and that manufacture water pumps. So they will see to the consumer either direct and but they also go through the channel of a distributors and installer. So that pumps get basically purchased from them and installed somewhere from the manufacturer as only has an asset record. That's what they have so they don't know at that point where that asset locate and who is the actual end user of that asset and throughout the life cycle of that asset and they make get work order and that they get calls for like maybe it is the distributor and maybe it is the installer and maybe it is the actual end user that own that asset at the point. So but the manufacturer does not have that detail and so you they would have and maybe they don't even have an account listed the asset or maybe they have the distributor on it and when the work order come and in they need to be able to create these work orders and for which even account is calling about it and even if the asset is not pre-linked to that particular account and what you can do now. So this is the setting area and this is the field service setting. Now click on work order booking tab. Now I am going to disable customer asset validation and it is changed to yes. And then click on save from here. So again change area as service and then click on work order from here. Now again create new work order. So first select asset from here. Now I am selecting Smart Brew 300 and then select the service account. Now I am selecting this account and then work order type is this and then incident type is broken heater. Now click on save button. Now it let me proceed even through the account are mismatched. So we also went a step further. And going back to the last scenario, like where the company They do not know who the end user of the asset is. Let us imagine that the end consumer called and I am trying to go through the process of creating work order, and I do probably want to update the account of the asset. And in that case, as part of my work order process, now go back to the field service setting. So first change area from here and then click on settings. Now click on work order booking tab. Now what we did, so we added another option which says suggest representing customer asset. Now it's changed to yes, and then click on save button from here. Now again change the area as service and click on work order from here. Now I want to create new work order, so click on new button from here. So first select the primary asset is Smart Brew 300, and then select the service account is Bean to Cup machines. So this feature is tell me about the account and the asset are not matched up. And do I want to update the asset account to a Bean to Cup machine? Now click on yes, and then select the work order type is flow issue, and then incident type is broken heater. Now click on save button from here. Now open this asset over here. Now we will see account is updated to the Bean to Cup machines. And last option, it is like the validation. Also, if you disable the validation, it also work for the service agreement. If you create agreement and you want to have asset that it might not be matched with the account, and if you disable this validation, so then you can do that as well. So this is work order, and same scenario will work for work order incident. Now click on related drop down and then click on incident from here. Now click on new work order incident and now click on incident type. So I am selecting facility assessment and then select the customer asset. So I am selecting this asset. So as you can see the same concept, and it will ask me like if I do want to update the asset in this case. For example, like I am a facilities manager and I have a bunch of the asset and that might be owned by the different parties. Like if the coffee machine are owned and the leased out by one company, so I have the other equipment at the site and tabs owned by the different account, and it is all the same location and I can have a single work order, so I can choose which location they are in. Out each incident can actually have assets that are linked to the different account. So then if you want the reparenting capability, and it exists for work order incident as well. So in this video we covered how to disable customer asset validation and suggest the account reparenting in Microsoft Dynamics 365 field service. Thanks for watching.